Hey folks, welcome back. We're here for you again and bringing the coolest vibes of NBA for you all. The NBA has become increasingly more valuable over the last decade. The valuation of NBA teams has six-folded over the last 10 years. On average, it would now be cheaper to purchase an MLB team rather than an NBA team. Although all sports franchises are increasing in worth, no major league is growing as fast as the NBA. The average Forbes valuation is now $2.12 billion. The NBA worldwide has a far bigger growth potential than any other North American sport. Let's move forward with our video and have a look at what it costs to buy an NBA team. So, let's begin. But before we proceed further, if you've not yet subscribed to the channel, do hit that subscribe button so that you won't be missing out on any future NBA content. In a world where people are moving from linear TV to an on-demand fashion of consuming content, the NBA has the edge over its competitors. The current TV deal is worth $2.7 billion annually, spread evenly among teams, with experts expecting it to double after a new deal has been made in 2025. On top of that, this goes for every league and not just the NBA. Sports teams are a relative good way to diversify risk in a portfolio. Because of rising TV deals and people's affinity for sports, it is a relatively sturdy investment. Investing in a team can also give you a huge tax break, which makes it fiscally interesting as well. It is probably the most fun investment one can make as well. There are a lot of intangibles in place to consider before putting a valuation on the table where you can buy a team against. The Forbes valuation states that the appraisals they give are based on what they think a team can sell for. Over the past, we've seen that these deals usually have around a 15 to 25% kicker in terms of sale price against the Forbes valuation. Forbes takes into account a team's market potential, arena income, brand value, and the league-wide earnings. Naturally, a team from the NY or LA area is worth more than the Hornets, who are based in North Carolina. The past three NBA sales have all been at least or north of $2 billion at the time of sale. It depends on what you're getting in the deal. In the $2.16 million adjusted for inflation Clippers sale from Donald Sterling to Steve Ballmer, only the team itself was a stake. In the $3.3 billion acquisition of the Nets last summer by Taiwanese businessman Jason Tsai, the deal also involved the money-losing Barclays Center, which makes the deal overall more valuable. Specific to this deal, however, is that because the Barclays is losing money, it actually upped the Nets' value in that overall deal to $2.5 billion. This means that Tsai paid 11 times the revenue for the Nets. Ballmer paid 14 times revenue for the Clips, whilst the Rockets switched hands in 2017 for a relatively modest 7 times. When looking at potential franchises, the New Orleans Pelicans personally catch our eye. The team has the second lowest Forbes valuation at $1.35 billion. The team has a lease to play in the Smoothie King Center, which is state-owned. There is probably not much to be gained by trying to buy the arena as well, with the Mercedes-Benz Superdome literally next door. The debt percentage is 13% of the estimated value, which in the NBA is quite high, 7th highest in the NBA. Both LA teams and the Nuggets actually have no debt, but in a business where cash flow is relatively low, it isn't too much of a concern. The fact that it's league-wide pretty high might work in our favor. When looking at the breakdown of the franchise's valuation, 65% of the worth is based on the league-shared revenues. This is obviously high compared to other NBA teams, as the other components are worth relatively little. Keep yourself tuned in as we discover more amazing facts with you all. And hope you guys are enjoying the video, and if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, do it now, in order to make sure that you don't miss out on any future NBA content from now on. The Pelicans now maybe have the most exciting young player in the NBA, Zion Williamson, who will be on a team-friendly rookie deal for the coming 3 years at least. Nola will have front row seats for resigning him for a max deal once his contract is up. They got a good package in return for the Davis trade with Ingram, an all-star who will command big money this summer, Ball, who is still on his rookie deal the coming years, and Hart, the IDEM. They have the building blocks to become a serious playoff contender with a diversified and deep roster. For the acquisition cost, we have to take the Forbes valuation as a basis. The team is now owned by Gail Benson, who inherited the team, along with the Saints, from her late husband Tom Benson. After a falling out, the team will probably not go to Tom's children and grandchildren. With Gail 73 years of age, it wouldn't be too crazy about an idea for her to want to sell the team at a sort of premium to stop having to divert her time between the Pels and the Saints, or to focus on other endeavors. And with the rising revenues of the NBA, the Pels roster and the growth potential, this could actually be a good investment. The NBA teams are more profitable than ever. The average earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization, or EBITDA, or $61 million per NBA team, is double what it was 2 seasons ago. Teams have benefited from pro basketball's $24 billion TV contract with TNT and ESPN, which kicked off in the 2016-17 season, and is shared equally among the 30 teams. Another boost is the collective bargaining agreement signed in late 2011. It cut the percentage of basketball-related income going to the players from 57% to 51%. The Knicks have had a miserable 12 months, finishing in the 2018-19 season with a league-worst 17 wins, missing out on their top free agent targets, and then firing head coach David Fizdale and president of basketball operations Steve Mills during the 2019-20 season. None of that seems to have had a noticeable impact on the team's market value, though. Once again, the franchise is considered the most valuable of any of the NBA's 30 clubs. According to a report from Kurt Badenhausen of Forbes, the Lakers and Warriors aren't far behind, having both surpassed the $4 billion mark for the first time this year. For the first time, all 30 NBA teams have a perceived worth of $1.3 billion, or more per Forbes annual report. Every team's value increased by at least 6% since Forbes put out their 2019 valuations last February, with a handful of franchises jumping by 20% or more. The NBA-wide average of $2.12 billion per team in 2020 is also a new record. That league-wide average surpassed the $2 billion mark for the first time. NBA franchise values are up almost sixfold over the last decade, according to Badenhausen. The Raptors are among this year's big winners, with their value rising 25% from $1.675 billion a year ago to $2.1 billion. This year following their first NBA championship. The Clippers also had a noteworthy bump, moving from 9th place on Forbes' list to 6th after landing Kawhi Leonard and Paul George last summer. Although every franchise's value increased, the Nets had the smallest jump, just 6%. The Magic's modest 8% increase resulted in the team slipping from 23rd on last year's list to 27th this year. It's worth noting that when a franchise has been sold in recent years, the value may exceed the estimated ones that are mentioned. So, which NBA team is your favorite? Let us know your answers in the comment section down below. Hope you guys have enjoyed the video, and thumbs up if you've liked it. And do hit that subscribe button so that you won't be missing out on any interesting videos from now on.